The program is Outside the Book, coming to you live from the Southern Kentucky Festival of Books 2014, a special collaboration between WKU-PBS, the Warren County Public Library, Barnes & Noble, and the Soki Book Fest. We're honored to have with us today Chris Raschka, the author of A Ball for Daisy. And Chris, you've won a lot of awards with this book, and it's a children's book. And people may not understand what a challenge it is to write a children's book.
Well, it's a great challenge to find the voice that is right for your audience, and my audience is the youngest, probably from the 2s to the 9-year-olds. And this, A Ball for Daisy, was my first wordless book, so the voice had to really only be carried by the art. And it actually took about 8 years. It was 8 years in the making, which is not unusual. I'm, working on a variety of things at once.
What does research tell us about our 2 through 9-year-olds? How is it that we grab, obviously appealing visuals are going to get the attention of a 2 to 9-year-old?
Well, in fact, I believe it's true that up until you are 5, your eyes are literally still forming. And so one thing that has made me be aware of is to simplify forms, simplify the images, which is something I tend to do anyway. I also like to work very gesturally and do paint spontaneously, so it's not worked over too much. It either works or it doesn't. That was the kind of art that appealed to me when I was a child. I loved the Madeline books by Ludwig Bemelmans, which are very rough, and so that is something I've followed myself.
And so 8 years in the making, it's out there now, it's won awards, and when you get to the finished product, do you say, should have done this, should have done that, yeah?
Of course.
Tweaking?
I'm always happy if I have 1 or 2 moments in the book that got to where I wanted it to be. But one thing that I have learned is to kind of reserve my own judgment and just work as well as I can, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I'm very happy that I can continue to work in the work that I do, and I was quite shocked when it did win the awards that it did. I kind of never dreamed that would happen.
Surprise.
Yes.
So 25 years you've been doing this. How have things changed in that time in the work that you do?
For me personally, in some ways starting out when I didn't know what I was doing was a blessing, because I just was working, creating stuff that was very personal to me. Now, because now there's a little more pressure to create something, a big seller. I have to say I was also blessed with an editor who was very headstrong, very, headstrong, I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe it is the right word. He published what he wanted to publish. Now editors are constrained they really have to, by
economics.
By economics, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Even though, everyone wants a blockbuster, not every book will be a blockbuster, and not every book should be a blockbuster, of course,
And I would hate to hear that that's the motivation for some and I know I'd be naive to think otherwise, but that some people go in hoping, I'm going to make this a blockbuster.
Right.
And yet you have a certain bar that you have to try to.
I would say in the children's book world, I don't know any cynical writers or illustrators. Everyone is really doing their best work, things that they want to make, and there's really no one is trying to. There might be some trying to get some kind of sneak something in there, but really, the people I know are just doing their work, trying to make good books for children.
Speaking of children, we have a different type of child. Well, at the foundation, kids are kids.
Right.
maybe I'm answering the question myself, but just with so many inputs and so much stimuli and digital
Yeah,
works
yeah.
out there, it's a different audience to a certain extent.
Yes. Um, we could get doom and gloomy. I mean, I've read studies that kids who are just looking at digital stuff from a very early age are less adept at reading personal emotion because they don't see it on the faces that they're looking at. They're looking at tablets instead of their moms and dads. That's kind of scary. But on the other hand, I feel like things will work its way out. And it's amazing to me to see that 18-month-old children, 2-year-olds, still pick up a book. They still like it. There's something about the form of the book that is still delightful.
And let's hope that continues.
Yeah, let's hope so. Well,
Take
it's
a
great,
look, right?
exactly. A lot of books here, a lot of fantastic writers, and this kind of thing is so encouraging. You know, I'm from New York City, and I've been around the country, and there are many wonderful book fests just like this one all over, and it's great to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking with Chris Raschka, A Ball for Daisy, from the Southern Kentucky Festival of Books.